What's going on, fantasy football geeks? It's your commish, Malik, aka Big Meech, as Rick Ross would say. It's like my favorite song out right now. Been meaning to do this for a long time, man, but as all of you know, I've had 2 kids in the last year, and that doesn't leave time for a lot of stuff, so just deal with it. This is week 7. Thanks to week 7 in the Any Given Sunday Fantasy Football League, and thanks to the geeks down at ESPN. Us dedicated commissioners, us creative commissioners now have the ability to post video on the league message, so I don't have to stay up all those late nights typing those long messages that I know none of you read. The only ones that probably read it was like my pop and a couple of you other dudes, maybe my man Sam, but anybody else didn't read it because there were no responses, but we'll get to that later on. Without any further ado, let's get back into the Any Given Sunday Fantasy Football Week 6 wrap up and week 7 preview. We'll go to week 6, starting off with my man CJ. Don't know why they call him CJ. Sean Washington and his team Washington, who beat the Gotham City Loan Sharks. My man Jamal, aka Don't Mess Up in My Courtroom or I'll Shoot You Dead. Jamal Thompson, 129.8 to 92. He stomped Jamal. Jamal's a football minded guy's a almanac when it comes to football, sports, mainly New York, like the Stankies. But, didn't happen this week. He got a nice game out of Matt Schaub, 27.3 points, and a good game from his backfields. Brandon Jacobs and Frank Gore combined to score over 30 points, 31.4 points. But it wasn't enough, as Joe Flacco of the Baltimore Ravens scored 26.5 points, 285 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and Steven Jackson continued his stellar play this season behind the reinvigorated offensive line in St. Louis. 17.1 points, 109 yards rushing, but he found the end zone this week, which makes all the difference in fantasy world. I'm sure all of you know. 129.8 to 92. Jamal, get it together. You can't be taken behind whoopings like that. If you were a loan shark and I came to you, you'd have like insufficient funds or whatever. I wouldn't be able to borrow a dime. 92 points. It sucks. Get it together. Next up, we got the Bottom Boys, aka Milo Dabney, my man from the Bottom in Philadelphia. The Bottom is one of the worst parts of town. I wouldn't take a cockroach there because billions of them already there. Going up against me. I didn't even know that. Go Phillies. That's the name of the team. World Series. I said, Jamal, you're a New York Stankies fan. Y'all may not even get to the World Series this year, so we're going to have to beat up on Texas for y'all. Y'all couldn't do it with that overpriced payroll. Getting back to fantasy football. The University City Bottom Boys were led by Ben Roethlisberger, 28.5 points. Welcome back, Big Ben, after your 4-week suspension. Milo's finally getting some dividends off a crafty draft pick. 4 weeks later, 28.5 points. Hines Ward, his number 1 target, his most dependable target, I'd say. 11.4 points, found the end zone on 54 yards receiving. 98.5 points for Milo, but it wasn't enough as he ran up against the commissioner, aka Leaks Dynasty, aka Go Phillies. I'll change my name after we win the World Series. It'll be Welcome Back, Phils. 31.2 points for Drew Brees. Still waiting for him to catch fire like he was last year, but he had 3 touchdowns and 263 yards passing. Got a big game from Monster Draft. Arian Foster, number 1 running back in the league, 21.7 points and 14.3 for Ahmad Bradshaw. Double figures. Everybody on my team scored in double figures except Josh Scobie, who let me down. After scoring 22 points last week, he had 3 points this week. Gonna have to keep my eye on that. Giants D is revamped, getting sacks, 23.6 points. Milo, you're my homie. I'm not gonna talk about you, but that 2-4 record is about as good as a 2-headed nickel in a game of tails. My man Sam Hilliard, who was 5-0 before this week. He had the DJ Khaled All I Do Is Win theme song music playing and on his alarm clock. He woke up to it every day, but it all went for naught as Team Willerson, aka the Shadows, White Shadows. Now I don't really know how anything white can cast a shadow. You have to ask him about that. But he won the game against the previously undefeated Team Hilliard, Sam Hilliard. stomped them 119.3 to 86.2. I knew that undefeated record was a little inflated, man. You tried to get off a bogus trade, and this is what happens when you send out bogus trades for the Adrian Petersons of the world. I'm playing at devil's advocate, Sam. It was actually an okay trade statistically, but God don't like ugly, and that was an ugly ass trade. That's why you got whooped this week. 119.3 to 86.2. It's ugly, bro. And you're no longer undefeated. Phillip Rivers let you down with 16 points. Still had a good game from your backfield. 13 for Adrian Peterson. It's a little under his average. Matt Forte didn't have that big week like you were pawning him off, like you were when you were trying to pawn him off to one of your boys, the winless guy in the league who's about to trade his whole team to you. But I'm the commish, and I ain't letting it go down. If it's not a viable trade, it's going up a vote. And even if it passes vote and it's not a viable trade, I got like the Obama power. Obama just veto power. I'll veto it, so don't trip. Roy Williams found the end zone twice, 14.8 points. The Shadows, my man Jimmy Willerson is a lawyer who's so smooth he could sell ice to an Eskimo probably. This guy is vicious. He's down here practicing law without a license, but that's another story. Aaron Rodgers, 27.4 points. Rashard Mendenhall having a great season. Definitely welcome him back. Big Ben, as is Mike Wallace, 15 points. The two of them combined to score over 30 points, 30.9 points between Rashard Mendenhall and Mike Wallace. But what you going to do next week? My man Deshaun Jackson got smacked. I thought he was dead after he got hit. But he got up asking for, I don't know, he told somebody to answer the phone as soon as he got up. There was so much ringing going on in his head, man. I was a little scared there. Glad to see it was just a severe concussion because, as I said, I thought he was dead. Don't know how many weeks he's going to be out. Jim, don't know how many weeks you can hold out without him. You finally got back on a winning track, but you lose your number one weapon in Deshaun Jackson, and you're probably going to be going down next week, especially if you're playing me. We'll see. You better make some of them lawyer moves and get another wide receiver in there before you face me, bruh. Next up, this is it, the Microphone Fiend. Now, the Microphone Fiend is like one of the hottest rap songs out by, whatever, by Eric B. and Rakim. But the name Jeb is probably like no disrespect intended. It sounds like a white name. And a white name, repping rap music, especially good rap music from the 80s, you get a lot of prop from me, bruh. I wouldn't have expected that. Now, if you're like, a brother with a white name, I'm sorry. Messed up. But Microphone Fiend's a cool name. Jeb Locke. I don't think you're a brother, though. But you're a cool dude because you like Microphone Fiend. You went up against my man Christian Petesic from the Madison Square Garden Brain Trust. This guy makes moves on Madison Square Garden like Jordan used to make on the perimeter. But it is, I can't say but, and it is translating to his fantasy team as he sits at 5-1 atop the league right now. Microphone Fiend was 4-2. I think he took him down. Young Money was undefeated, but he ran up against the Microphone Fiend of a microphone, 142.6 to 97.8. It wasn't even close. The microphone, he took that microphone and wrapped it all around Young Money, beat him by 50 points. Young Money had 25.9 points from Peyton Manning. Great backfield of LaDainian Tomlinson and Jamal Charles combined to score almost 30 points. But he got a terrible effort from his defense. The Packers only scored 13.7 points, and Reggie Wayne could not find the end zone, scoring 7.1 points. Microphone Fiend and his musically talented, musically inclined self got 20 points from Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. Backfield of Ray Rice and Ryan Matthews combined for almost 20 points, but he got big dividends out of his receiving core as Calvin Johnson, Percy Harvin, and Dwayne Bowe each found the end zone in many different ways as they combined to score over 60 points between the three of them. I don't know how many guys can beat him if he gets much more production like that. We'll see what happens as the season goes along. Microphone Fiend, you keep on rapping and rhyming and rapping, and we'll see what happens. Next up, we got Living what? Alright, we have, hold on a second. Fly Jocks Forever Living Young. And this is my little brother, my man Corey Rose. I gotta take it easy on him, but I'll be easy. The TR Rough Riders. This was the Who Cares Bowl. This is the Battle of Futility. We had two 0-5 teams going at it. I think they broke the Nielsen ratings for least watched game ever. I think they had 3 people listening to it. This was a game fit for radio. They shouldn't even have wasted any TV time on it. But the Fly Jocks forever living young lost again, 0-6, man. And for that, Corey, you get the. Come on, son. How you gonna start the season out 0-6 after you came over here draft night, wasted all the ink on my printer, printing out all your little draft strategies, and in every one of your leagues, you're 1-5 or 0-6, man. You're bringing down a family name, Corey. I said it to you once, I'll say it again. I love you like a play cousin, but you gotta step it up, man. 0-6, all that paper. You had a tree's worth of paper, like 3 reams worth of paper, man, and 10 ink cartridges sitting right over there at the draft, talking trash and scratching people's names out, and you're 0-6. This is ridiculous, man. I'm gonna call the planet people on you. You're wasting trees, man. You're wasting trees. Fly Jocks, if you want to say this, led by Mark Sanchez at a blistering 10.9 points. Nobody else other than his defense of the 49ers got into double figures. Nothing else needs to be said about that. Corey, you need to get it together. Make some trades, do something, but don't pull one of those little Sam Hilliard and what's his name? Team TR Rough Riders, his homies trades. The Rough Riders were led by Eli Manning, 19.9 points. And Chris Johnson, MVP candidate, as always, 19.1 points. Got 11.1 points from Danny Amendola. Good pickup. He's the kickoff return king. Those yards count, fellas. If you got a guy out there like a Josh Cribbs or Amendola, somebody that gets kickoff yards, those count. If you're struggling at wide receiver, you should pick one of those up. Take note, Corey. The Colts defense scored 25 points to round out TR Rough Riders game. TR Rough Riders easy with them trades, man. You're 1-5, but don't start none of that, trading your team away, especially to your buddy Sam, because I ain't gonna let it go down. I only got a couple more minutes, so I'm gonna wrap this up quick. The next we have my man Matt Harding, another brain trust down at MSG. This guy runs all the technology stuff down there. Rex Ryan itches, and the Q-Town Eagles, my dad, my beloved Pop himself. Both teams are now 4-2 as Rex Ryan took down the Q-Town Eagles. My dad is a fantasy guy. He knows all kinds of fantasy baseball, basketball, and football. But I didn't know that. But he's got whooped this week. 111 to 83.1. Got a good team there, but Brett Favre let him down with a minuscule 118 yards and 1 touchdown. Got 12.7 points from Brandon Marshall, but he needs to find the end zone to be fantasy relevant. Matt Harding got a great game from Tony Romo. 29.2 points and got 30 points from the Dolphins defense. Great game, Matt. Get it together. You guys need to get back on the message board and start talking trash to one another, sending some trades. That leads me to my next point. We got a couple minutes before YouTube cuts me off. Going into Week 7 pregame. We got my Phillies taking on Jim Wilson and the Shadows with no Deshaun Jackson. You're going to get whooped, Jim. This is the rubber match, and it ain't happening. Team Hilliard, the previously undefeated Team Hilliard, is now defeated, going up against my man Milo. He's traveling to University City in Philadelphia. Milo Dabney and his bottom boys. TR Rough Riders, fresh off of beating my little brother Corey with a blistering 1-5 record, travels to New York, Madison Square Garden to take on Rex Ryan. Bitches. And then we have Young Money, who's on the other end of the MSG, Madison Square Garden. He's hosting the 0-6 Corey. Let's go, Corey. Everybody root for Corey this week. Somebody, trade him a coach, see what he can do. The Q-Town Eagles travel to Miami, Florida to take on Team Washington. See what goes on. Both teams are 4-2. We'll see which team comes out of there 5-2 and which one comes out 4-3. CJ, I love you, man, you're my boy, but I'm definitely rooting for my pops on that because the ass kickings back in the day wasn't cool. The Gotham City Loan Sharks at 2-4 travel to wherever the hell Jed Block and his microphone fiend boys are from to take on those guys, hoping to do an upset, get to 3-4, and send microphone fiend to 4-3. Got 30 seconds left before I get cut off. You guys need to get back on the message board, start talking up some trash, and start sending a lot of trade proposals, legit trade proposals. As I said, I'll veto anything that comes across half-cocked. But let's make this league fun, man. We got $100 riding on it from every man. 65, 25, 10% split. First place gets 65%, second place gets 25%, third place gets 10%. I'll be coming to you in the weeks coming. Let's do this. It's your Commissioner Leak, a.k.a. Big Meats, signing off. Peace!